What do we have today? Mystery Crate has begun. Welcome to Mystery Crate.
Hey.
Billy's back.
Oh, we started.
Billy!
Hey.
We missed you. Mystery Crate.
Are we rolling?
I think, yeah, we're rolling. I got the look from Fuentes when I started the Tony take-up.
Yeah, I kind of screwed Jason on the start time. They like to have the clock, but
Should
they
we start
kind of
again?
no, they kind
we're
of threw
good.
it in there.
They
No,
caught
we're
on
here.
already.
I really want to have us talking about Tony's snot in the beginning of that.
Can we just start it with Billy's juicy snort?
Yeah.
It was very wet.
Really?
Yeah.
It was, but not really. It sounded it, but I didn't feel that inside.
I could hear it go from your upper sinus
Hubba,
to
hubba.
your lower sinus into your esophagus and down your throat.
I didn't feel it though. Like I didn't. It felt like it was like a dry snort. Like
A lot
it
of
didn't-
things going
Do you
on.
have that in your arsenal?
Honestly, no, I don't do
Try
a
to
lot.
bust it out right now.
I can't inhale that deeply. And also, I feel like I'm at Stugotz's mic right now.
Yeah, I
and
wouldn't want to
I'm
get
gonna
close.
Don't
to
get
that.
too close.
Contract COVID again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gross. Why did I sit here?
Huh.
How do you feel sitting there though? Like, do you smell cigarette? Like, I feel like
It's
he was just
kind
in
of-
here before we
yeah.
recorded this, so like the room has that smell right now.
It's wafting like in waves through the air. Like
Yeah.
you'll get a whiff of it and you kind of goes away, and then you kind of you smell it out of nowhere for another second, and then it kind of floats away.
I have something I need to get to today. We don't need to get to it first, but it's just something I'm dealing with. I've been put in charge of a bowling team.
Ooh.
Who put you in charge?
Well, it was like my father-in-law really wanted to play, and I was like just ignoring it, not doing anything about it. And then he kept texting me about it. So I'm like, I guess if I don't put this team together,
Can I ask you a question?
go ahead.
What happened to Highlight?
It's still here. We have a draft on August 8th.
I feel like we haven't talked about it in like a year.
We just
They were
actually
terrible last
It was a bad season.
we
They were really bad
finished
last
last place, so we have the first pick.
Oh, that's good.
And the way it works is you get to keep up to 2 people.
Big news right here.
You get to keep 2 people from your team, and wherever slot they were picked at, you don't get that draft pick. You don't. So Manu's our number 1 guy.
Yeah, like the players are in tiers, and Manu is our tier 1 guy. But big news this year.
So we've well, it doesn't mean we won't end up with them. We've
Correct.
not kept Manu. We've only kept 1 player.
I'm confused. You have the number 1 pick,
so
but if you wanted to
confused.
pick the person you drafted first last year, then you don't have a first
if
round
we
pick.
kept Manu, since
It's a
he's
little
our
bit
top,
of like a keeper league type
yeah,
deal.
like if
Yeah.
you keep your top pick, you don't get a first
Oh.
pick in that year's draft.
I have a question for you. I still
so we're get ridding.
So
we're
like
get-
the
we're
Carolina
not.
Panthers don't get a
We're
first
not-
round pick next year since they took a first round pick this
We're
year.
That's
not,
kind of a way to
We're
look at
not keeping Manu.
we're not
because
protecting him.
We want to have.
Interesting.
Don't tell people your strategy. You
I mean,
haven't
it's already,
drafted
it's
yet.
already out there.
Yeah.
But they get to draft first. So
So
Yeah, but they're
because we're
not keeping Manu,
But
so
we
they're
could
not
have-
going to take
they're
him.
already on the clock.
The kicker is.
But they're not going to take Manu first, and then they want to try to steal
The
Manu.
kicker is that he's going to be available to us, so we might end up. But I just wanted to
That's
keep our options.
If he goes
open.
around, we could get him again.
That's what you're trying to do.
Snake draft?
It's-
No.
They didn't keep their tier 1 person to try to get a tier 1 pick,
right.
and have no one else take Manu and then take him.
We
tier
wanted to keep
2,
our
which
options
is a dangerous
open.
game.
Kind of like the Steelers getting Joey Porter Jr. in the second round.
Almost
of the draft.
exactly like
We're
that.
rebuilding.
Yeah. There you
That's
go.
to-
It's a little bit of a rebuild
Long answer
here.
short. We're
Can,
rebuilding.
can I ask you a question
Yeah.
about this? And I'm asking Mike Fuentes too.
You need a podcast called "Can I Ask a Question?"
Why?
That'd be
'Cause
great.
it's one of your things. You say it a lot.
I'm just curious.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
That's the other podcast.
So you were involved somewhat in the
He's the head of
highlight
scouting. He's the head of
situation.
scouting.
Yeah, I have like 3 different titles.
It depends on.
It depends
day.
on what comes to Chris's brain first when he talks about. me
I
and the
actually
highlight
went
thing.
to a Assessa Cyclones game last year, and none of you were there.
Yeah,
Because it was towards the end of the season.
we got in trouble for that. By the way,
Really?
We got some emails sent out. I don't know. Maybe I'm revealing too much here. Hey guys,
Ooh.
it's not a great look when the owner's box is completely empty.
It was kind. That was so when I
Billy was there.
No, so-
Billy's
so-
like, what
We could have
about
thrown
me?
Billy in if he would have told us. I'd have been like, Billy, walk up in there.
well no, so I went because one of my friends was like, I really want to go to a highlight game, which is like
Did
a
you tell me
strange
no
thing.
an owner?
I didn't know that you guys, your team was playing. I just
Oh,
knew
right.
that it's a Friday night thing, but
Yeah.
it's not every Friday.
Yeah.
So then when
And
I got
also, you
there,
guys didn't talk about it at all because
Yeah.
you're so bad.
yeah. So when I got there, the Cones were playing, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna run into like a bunch of work people
Yeah.
today. Now,
Uh-oh.
let me prepare myself for this mentally. And then
No
no,
one.
one was there.
Well, it
And
was
I
like it was
huh.
late in the season. And like we're a fair weather ownership group.
Yeah, I think there was like a bunch of stuff going on that weekend.
Well, so how
I had
does
a thing.
How does a
Yeah.
player become eligible for the draft?
You have to be put in like someone. I guess the commissioners
Do they have a
to.
super license.
They-
You're a
system?
team owner.
Yeah.
How do you not know the
Because
process?
I don't know how these players. All I
But
know
now
is at
there's
some
new-
point I get a list of players,
And there's new players coming in.
But that's what I'm asking.
Dania,
It's some-
How do you get in that pool of players? Like if my
you wanna
friend
be
wanted
one?
to be a highlight
You have
player,
to be a player. Like you
How
have to
does
either
he
come from
go-
Dania or come from another highlight league.
Say that again.
Come from Dania.
There you
yeah.
go.
But how would you get into the league originally?
You gotta-
Let's say you want to start in this league. How do you get in this league?
Well,
It's kinda
Miami-
like, how do you
Highlights-
become a professional pickleball
Highlight's
player?
been a thing in
Start
Miami
playing
for
it.
years. Like you
So
know,
how do you get into it?
You-
Because your whole thing is, I was like, well, how do you get in? And you're like, you just have to be in. It's like, well, how? There has to be like a way
Start
to.
playing, you work yourself up
Yeah,
the
I
youth
think-
ranks.
I'm not a grassroots guy. Okay, I'm a draft night guy.
Can you draft my friend?
If he wants to play, sure.
do
why
you
not?
ask Jerry Jones like how people pick up football? No, I'm worried.
No, but it's
He's
an
way
it's
better
an
above
understood
that level.
process, like how you would
It's
draft it.
I would imagine it's a similar process to you play it, you get good at it, and
But
someone's
there's,
like,
like-
"Hey, you want to come be on this team?"
3 places in the world to play it.
That your point is taken. There's not a
There's
lot.
no youth highlight leagues around town
That's-
that they
what do you-
could join.
There has to be at least a couple.
There's more likely of it now because of this exposure we're giving.
True.
Correct.
Highlight.
Wait, Chris, can you tell
doubtful.
us about the bowling team now?
I mean, it's not that exciting. This is way more interesting. It's just my father-in-law kind of wanted to be in a bowling
Ray
league.
Romano's cousin.
Yeah, and so I was like, all right, yeah, I did bowling before. He's like, let's do it. And next thing I know, I'm in charge and I'm trying to fill a team now. So I've just like been
Where is
texting
it?
people that I think may be good bowlers. Sorry, I didn't text any of you.
I'm a good bowler. Where is it?
Are you?
Thanks a
I,
lot.
I was
Looking for a ringer. Honestly.
back-to-back champ.
I got a ringer, but it's if you're probably playing far, right?
Yeah, it's in Davie.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
brother-in-law is
It's not happening.
is a really good bowler.
What nights?
Wednesdays.
Nah, never.
Starting in late August.
I don't know.
I'm gonna call him.
I hate
Alright.
doing things.
What
Yeah.
what do you bowl? What's your like?
Like, what do I do?
yeah.
I'm like if I'm in form, I'm like 170, 180. But
That's
if
pretty
I
good.
haven't
That's
bowled in a while, I'm like
Bumpers?
130, 140.
I so the other day we went.
No bumpers?
No bumpers.
I'm just kidding.
We went. Why not?
Because it's a league.
Bumper league. He's actually texting his whoever he said.
My brother-in-law.
What does he bowl? 300.
He sent me a couple of videos of him getting 300s.
My dad's a really
I
good
mean, there's no
bowler.
handouts here. He's going to have to try
He
out.
lives in
You
South
know.
Carolina.
I'm going to have to see some tape. Do you have any tape of him?
What did you do
I
Wednesday
have a
night?
video.
Don't be just offering spots up to my
Usually golf.
team. I mean, jeez.
Maybe he'd come to Davie.
Yeah. Who? Lehman?
No,
No,
my
her
dad.
her dad.
Oh,
yeah.
man, I got excited.
Hmm.
Lehman.
Have you guys all seen Barbie?
I have.
No.
I know you have. Yeah. No, nobody else.
I want to. I'm going to see it.
Barbie girl.
It's on my list. I'm getting to it.
It was very good.
It was good. I feel like I've read too many people's opinions about Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Correct.
It is one of the failures of the internet. That
You watched Oppenheimer too.
I haven't
presumably.
seen Oppenheimer
No?
yet. I'm seeing it this week. I'm very excited about it.
It seems like not a movie I'd be excited about. It
I
seems
love
grim.
Christopher Nolan movies.
It's a fast 3 hours.
It seems
Yeah.
grim
I'm
to
sure-
me.
I'm
I saw
sure
them
it's
both on the
super
same
grim.
day.
Do you-
The whole thing is like atomic bomb, right?
No, it gets into him a lot.
That's how it ends.
I heard the
his
first two
communist
acts are good.
connections.
I heard the
Yeah.
third act's a little.
I don't know. I like the whole thing.
I
Everybody
think
was
I'll like
I
it.
Great
produced a
actor.
movie podcast, so I talk.
I,
about
that's
it.
right.
yeah, that was pretty apparent what you were doing there.
Cinematography.
The first
I've
two
heard is
acts.
the best.
How many of the movies that you review do you watch?
A couple. We're doing Hangover on
Have
this
you
week.
guys
You've
seen
seen
Jerry
that one.
Yeah,
Maguire?
I've seen that one.
Love Jerry Maguire.
I love Jerry Maguire.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Notre
good.
Dame did this whole thing where they were announcing new uniforms last Monday, and they did a like Jerry Maguire themed reveal.
They did The Hangover last year, right? With the
Yes,
Golics.
they did.
Yeah.
And I've seen The Hangover, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure most
that was fun.
players on the team have seen The Hangover. But are we to assume that 20-year-olds have? Because Sam Hartman, the quarterback, was making Jerry Maguire references on Twitter.
What scene are they recreating? Not
He's a
the-
little older. I should make an old joke
Yeah.
on everyone else's behalf. He's like 23, but I don't know because I've never seen it, and I feel like it's a little old of a reference.
I just don't like. I've seen the movie,
Is
but
that
I'm-
playing to like
is
the
it Show Me
donors?
the Money? Like I'm trying to think of like what's the iconic scene.
I
that they
truly
would-
don't know
Yeah,
what
you
the-
wouldn't because you
because I've never seen it.
so you're just through your prism. You're like this doesn't
I'm
connect
just
with
like
me.
these uniforms are awesome. That's basically been my
Are they good?
reaction. They're actually very cool. I like
Yeah.
they did all green pants, green jerseys, gold outlined lettering, gold helmet. I like them. They're cool.
I
I'm
want to
not
see
like
it.
a-
I want to
I'm
get
not
out
a
to the
uni
film. I
watch
want to get
guy.
out to the movies. I like getting out to the movies. I just like the
Me
whole
too.
process. You know what I don't like? I don't like this nowadays. The pick your seat thing.
Really? I'm
I mean,
surprised we
it
ever lived in a
makes it
time that
easier.
they didn't have pick your seat.
I kind of don't mind it because when Barbie, especially, it was so hard to get a ticket last
Yeah.
week. Everything was sold out, and it's good to know.
It's
in
nice knowing
advance
where your seat is.
If I
guess.
were to
Yeah.
go to the theater and be like, "Can I have 2 tickets?" and one was in like the front row and one was in the back row, and like I walked into the theater and
Yeah.
we had to split up, like that would have sucked.
No,
That
and
is
then
true.
and then like running a little late. There's traffic.
You used to have to get to the theater like 15 minutes early.
15. You have to probably get there like an hour
For Barbie,
early.
like 3 days early.
No, but like you had to sit in the theater like 15 minutes or like get out of the arcade, all this stupid
I used to
crap.
show up to movies like 40 minutes early if it was really popular to make sure I got a good seat. Because otherwise, you know, you'd be in all the way to the left, all the way to the right, up in the front.
Where do you like?
What's wrong with the left or the right?
No, I don't mind left or
dead
right,
center?
especially on the
You're
ends.
middle?
I was
No,
middle center
sometimes.
with for
What's
Barbie.
everybody's movie
Best seats
seat?
in the
Give
house.
me middle height, but I'll take the
middle
the
upper
aisle seat.
Yeah, center.
Give me the aisle.
Center, like
No,
last
center
row,
for me.
last couple rows. You like the top?
No,
No,
not the top.
I'm
Middle,
mid-center for a
upper.
movie I really want to see. If I'm like, you know, whatever, I'll just go take a look at it. I'll be off to the left or right just because I don't want to climb over people if I have to pee. That's like
Yeah,
a thing I don't
You
wanna
take
do.
movies
Would never
seriously.
pee during a movie,
pretty
though.
seriously.
Why?
Yeah,
What number you buy this year?
I really enjoy
Don't
them.
you do like
for
an-
my watch list?
An annual thread?
Yeah, like I'm at like 52.
Wow.
But
should produce
I'm
Cinephile.
slow. No?
You should produce Cinephile.
Yeah.
I got a lot
Are
on
you
my
good
plate.
at audio
Audio
levels?
editing.
Because neither is Chris.
Yeah, no.
That's not
No, I said I made that joke last week.
It was one of the funniest off mic Chris revelations. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty bad at this.
Well, because someone was complimenting Roy's audios. Like, I think Dan and Danny was like, Roy's such a good audio tech. And I'm like, I am not.
Hey, neither am I.
But
No
at
one
least
has
you
ever
realize
taught
it,
to me.
like-
Adnan's audios, we just got it figured out like 48 episodes in
Nice.
to my reign.
But what
No
did
one-
it
if
sound
no
like
one
before?
teaches
Well,
you,
he just
you
like
don't know what you're doing.
he's been doing like he's the Zoom audio and he does his own recording.
Zoom is tough.
It's
Zoom
just
is tough.
we've gotten better now. We're good. We're good now.
Sorry for revealing that.
No, it's fine.
He admitted it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right. I like a man who can recognize his shortcomings. You know,
Thank you.
Also a woman.
Yeah.
and a woman.
Anyone,
People.
really.
Anyway, yeah.
I think when people are self-deprecating.
Well,
not- if
I
it's
got
self-
that in
if it-
droves.
If it's is it self-deprecating? If
Not
like
when
you just
someone else
know you're
calls
not
it out
good
for
at
you.
it.
Yeah, like
that's true.
self-awareness.
There you go.
I liked Barbie though. I wish I knew less of what other people thought about it.
Yeah, there's too many opinions.
Too many opinions, and I think a lot of the opinions have been along the lines of like, it wasn't that good. And it's like no one said it. Like it's a
Yeah.
movie.
It's not the greatest of all time. I'm just enjoying
a
it.
movie. It's
Yeah.
fun.
It's like what I've heard. It's that it's different. Like
How long is
it's
it?
taking a chance.
It is
It's
different.
less than 2 hours, which is the best part.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's rare.
Because Oppenheimer, I'm gonna have to buckle in for that.
Ugh.
But you're not.
Gosh.
You're not going to feel it. Trust me. You're not going to feel it.
Christopher
I hope you
Nolan.
like politics and like World War II, Cold War era type stuff
Oh,
because there's a lot of that at the
I
end.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's good though. I really
I've
enjoyed
heard
it.
that I will enjoy it because there's a lot of nerdy history stuff.
There is, but they kind of overblew the whole like graphic atomic bomb thing. They didn't really even show it that much. I felt.
Not enough bomb for you. Interesting take.
Mike Fuentes, you were doing other tasks last week, so you weren't able to do what you're doing right now for Mystery Crate, and you were unhappy. It seems like we hit some topics last week that you really wanted to be a part of.
No, I wasn't unhappy. I was just we were pressed for
FOMO.
time. No, everything was like Chris wasn't going to be here Thursday. Tony was leaving. Billy was still out. I don't think you were here on Thursday, if I don't remember correctly. Irrelevant. So it was just if we don't do it right now, we're not going to have anything for Thursday. So we had to do it in the other studio. It ran up against the show, but I was listening
Because
to it.
Miami was the real
There
reason
you
why.
go.
We, like the elephant in the room here is because Miami was using this studio, and we didn't want to wait till like 7
Can we-
p.m. to record.
Can
So
we switch that?
I mean, this
Is that
Yeah.
a bad question?
Roy, I mean, you
for
asked
this-
Roy
for this
about it.
area,
Roy acts like he has no control over it. It's like it's in the schedule. It's like Roy, you put it in the schedule.
Yeah, that's true. I saw it on the DK network that you guys use that other studio over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
How was it?
It looked a little cramped
Intimate?
because there was like 3 of you in there.
I
right?
don't know how the video, like it was fun to do audio wise. I don't know how it looked.
It looked unnecessarily cramped because Amin decided to sit in like a stool that wasn't
Yeah.
a normal chair.
That's
he was
such
like
an Amin
hovering
thing.
over
Yeah,
us.
so he was like
Amin,
up with
I
shoulders.
love. He
Yeah.
makes strange choices.
He does, and then I tried to like give him a different chair at the end. He's like, "I've been here the whole time." So.
But I honestly
Oh,
think
why?
Amin, and you can nominate someone else. I think there's no one better at our company than go talking to a mic and just say, like, you know what I mean? You could put him in any topic, I feel like he's the best at just being a chameleon. Like whatever the topic is, serious, funny, wacky, movies, sports, he can at least
so
take
he has
it.
a take on everything.
There's plenty of
He
things.
doesn't run out of things to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
I do get that vibe from him.
No, it's a compliment from I'm saying it as a compliment. He's
Always ready to go.
Well, it's certainly a
Hey, I mean, we
compliment.
need content.
when
Go
you're-
go in there with that person and talk. Got you. Whatever you need. Quick.
Who was who? So who was it?
It was
you,
me,
Amin,
Tony, and Amin.
Yeah, they talked about European vacations.
It was fun, actually.
Yeah,
I
they
felt
talked
like it
about
was
their
fun.
hobbies. Talked about salsa.
What did you want to talk about in that group that
Well,
you're upset about?
First of all,
Salsa.
all their hobbies that they listed were like literally all my hobbies.
Wow.
It was sneakers,
You
movies.
guys should be friends.
Sneakers
And-
as a hobby.
That's
Yeah.
I was the one saying that
That's
is
not
this a hobby? Like we were having the
Sneakers
debate.
It's not a hobby.
People,
That's a thing.
people keep it as a hobby because like the collector aspect of it. To me, it's just
Collecting sneakers
Tony said
is
the
a hobby.
gym.
Yeah.
Sneakers
Tony
is
said
not a
going to the
hobby.
gym was a hobby.
I have something that
What?
I've seen lately, and I don't know why I've been targeted in this fad. Enough with the collectible cards. Like
they're having a
enough.
moment. Yeah,
But
the
it's-
pandemic brought it back.
But
Yeah.
it's too much because everyone thinks that they can start their own
Yeah.
like Instagram or TikTok and just like I'm gonna rip the box or whatever it's called, and then
But
they
people
like
love
have
that.
the knife
Like
and
Mike Sure, you mean?
the
but-
unopenings.
but why?
I don't know.
I remember,
And then they like buy like this box cost me $15,000, and then it's like,
What?
oh, it's a Kenny Pickett card.
I
And it's
remember
like, well,
during-
you just flush that money down.
I'm
but
sorry,
everybody,
he's Ken-uff.
but everybody thinks
Barbie reference.
that like their channel or whatever is like
The
gonna
only one doing it.
yeah or take off, or, and it's just
We're
a,
on different sides of TikTok. I
it
must
seems like
admit.
a very like copycat
It's a
situation,
very saturated market. yeah.
but also it seems like at this point, because it's a fad, I feel like a lot of these cards are just made up. Like these companies are just like making things up, and then they're just putting 101 on these things.
people love
and-
collectibles.
I know, but like guys, listen.
I'm a sucker for it though.
This
I watched
bubble's
Bill
gonna
Simmons
burst.
and his son open so many packs
This
of
bubble's gonna-
basketball
but
cards
this-
during the pandemic.
But this is the whatever it was Top Shot or whatever. It's like you're gonna
Yeah.
buy these cards that you're like, this card is worth $30,000. Like, yeah, but find someone to pay you
How
that.
much did
That's the
Mike
thing.
spend
And
on
then-
Top Shot cards? Not you, Mike.
No,
Ryan.
I don't do Top Shot. Yeah,
I just
I missed that whole era. In
Obi
LeBatard
Toppin,
Show
that's
really,
right,
yeah. I'm sure.
I
you
mean,
back
do.
when NFTs were a thing.
I'm sure you missed finding out about
remem-
Mike's Top Shots.
I remember like absorbing it from afar and being like, I'll never need to know about this. And then I started working
Yeah.
here like a year later. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
yeah.
Now I have to.
Anyway, so your hobbies are sneakers.
No, that was just stuff that I'm interested in. And then another one was Chris said he wanted to learn a hobby, and then he talked about later in the show being a pickpocket. So Chris, you just learned to be a pickpocket.
No, I was saying.
That's what we were
I
talking
was
about.
saying, is that a skill? Because like
100%. It's a skill.
pickpocketers are so good.
Yeah,
that,
it's a skill.
But like,
Is that
I
your
want to
hobby?
know where's the bad pickpocketer. Like, I feel like
Jail.
there's an SNL.
He's in jail.
that's-
Exactly.
There's a
That's what
skit
a
there
bad
or a
pickpocket-
movie about the bad pickpocket.
I always
that always
think
gets
about
by.
like pickpocketers and like hackers, right? Like the hackers that always work for the government got caught. So this guy's obviously not the best hacker. So why like they're taking his advice?
Yeah.
He's a hacker.
That's a good
There you
point.
go.
I've never thought about.
Yeah.
Actually.
But if you learn how to become a
You're
pickpocket,
a watch guy too.
not really.
It's a hobby.
Why?
Yeah, not really. I would say like I like nice looking watches, but if they're over $300, I'm like, oh, I'm okay.
There's a
with it.
difference between some like if I'm into collecting something that doesn't, or maybe that does make it a hobby.
I don't think it
Collecting
does.
things is a hobby
No.
to an extent.
So collecting
I think-
watches, hobby.
Yeah,
No
Maybe.
hobby.
I think if you collect
Hobby or
anything,
hobby?
it's part of the hobby.
Collecting is a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should learn to be a
Depending how much time
pickpocket.
you put into it. Otherwise, it's just
Attention,
like-
have you seen that? We talked about this too.
Oh,
the
yeah.
TikTok, the attention.
She referenced
TikTok.
it.
No.
Yeah.
I made a joke about that on air also a month ago
No.
that no one got.
What is
and
that?
now it's in the mainstream.
On TikTok in
Just
Italy,
saying.
because
Yeah.
pickpocketing is a big problem in Italy, and there's
In
this
a lot of
lady
parts
that
of
has,
Europe.
Yeah.
and
Amsterdam, they told us to make sure you
she
keep your
has
stuff up.
this lady's gone. She's gotten. New York Times just did an article on her.
Yeah.
She's gone viral on TikTok by blowing up the spot of
She screams at
She
them.
just like she knows who they are or what they look like, and then she'll just be like attention, attention, and then you see these people who are just like looking around, and then all of a sudden they're trying to cover their
They run
face.
away.
So they're not great
I
liars.
do feel
It's an
bad
admission
though
of guilt.
because I picture Lucia and the other girl from White Lotus. I can't remember, Mia. I think the two. Did you guys watch the new
Yeah.
season of White Lotus? I'm like picturing them as
Was
the
it me?
pickpocketers,
My character?
Oh, she's back.
not you.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, let them get away with it. But also, pickpocketing's bad. Don't steal.
But how great would it be, Chris, if like you're like, hey, you
Alfie
guys
was
want to
such
see
a
a skill,
dummy.
and then all of a sudden, hey, have your wallet, boom, you give it back to a guy.
That's what I mean. Like that would be just a fun like party trick. Hey, where's your phone? It's right here.
Yeah,
There's definitely a
what I'm
USA
saying.
Network sitcom like where that's happened. Like that's like something that would happen on like The Mentalist.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Mhm.
or like Psych.
You should have a pickpocketing podcast
I miss Psych.
called Out of Pocket.
I call it attention.
the pickpocket pod.
Attenzione, pickpocketici.
Someone
I don't know how to
should
say
get
it.
the lady
Italian.
that is famous now for that and start a podcast with her,
Now they're like breaking the fourth wall, and you see videos of people
taking pictures
sorry.
of her videos
of her videoing
Yeah.
people pickpocketing.
She's got her face.
It's crazy.
The New York Times article I saw her picture. Like now she's gonna
Yeah.
like.
She's out there.
there.
Yeah,
Be
I like
careful.
the, I like
Tread
the
lightly.
idea of Chris
What is that?
hosting a
I'm saying
podcast
she should be careful.
with someone who only speaks Italian while he speaks English, and just them trying to communicate with each other.
no, you idiot, talking to this.
I love that idea. Has anyone been watching the Sex and the City reboot and
No.
just like that?
No.
Everybody.
Oh, I need Mike Ryan
I saw
in here.
season 1.
And?
I liked it. You know, there was a big shocking. Are we allowed to like spoiler alert?
Yes,
What
you can
happened?
spoil it. It's not a good show.
I mean, that was shocking
Well, when
when
Mr. Big died.
Yeah.
It like tanked Peloton stock. I remember that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because he died out riding the Peloton, and then it was this huge deal. And then I also remember Peloton's weird commercial with the lady because
Yeah.
her boyfriend gives it to her. And
I
then,
love Peloton.
I know. I remember the
Thank you
commercial
for
was
your-
weird, and it was like a controversy, even though Billy's attached and therefore
Uh-oh.
Not really.
loosely. No more. What was it called?
Guillermoton?
Guillermoton.
Yeah, I need to get back on the
Is
bike, as they
Peloton
say.
paying you?
No.
Okay,
I
good.
wish.
Let's just put that
put that to
question of
bed.
ethics
I
out
wish.
there.
I don't think I've ever had anything that I would put like hashtag ad on. You know what I mean? Like on social media
What
where
if
you have
they're
to put like.
paying you?
I think that.
I've had to do it for.
I
Like,
think you
brand
have to
deals.
do it when
Yeah,
you have
it's
a
like,
brand deal.
Otherwise, it's illegal.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. So speaking of Chris's hobbies, I know Chris wants to get into
Big Mamitas guy.
stand-up comedy.
That was funny.
Jess really enjoyed that.
Don't worry. I think they're only coming after Kim Kardashian level
All right, good.
influencers who are
Kick,
not,
save, and abuse.
Can I ask you a question?
disclosing
Because
their
Yes,
ads.
Billy, you can.
he's gonna ask. He's gonna ask you about stand-up comedy that you want to do.
Okay.
So Brad is in town.
I did one of my
this
bits
week.
last week on the show.
Yeah, it was a
It
good
was
one.
good. Wait,
Did
what
you?
was it again?
It came up. It was the loofah
The
thing.
loofah.
That's actually. See, now I'm like knocking down.
Oh, the
fourth
loofah thing
wall.
was good.
I'm not as
A little behind the bit.
neurotic with my loofahs. That was I never do that on the show of like a bit, but
Yeah.
that's one I have been working on. So I'm not as neurotic in real life with my.
Wait,
loofahs.
you don't like lie on the show about stuff? I do.
Well, yes, I'm definitely. I mean, I exaggerate. Like I go for jokes and stuff.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say I'm just lying a lot.
Stugotz straight up lied
Oh, yeah,
earlier this
well.
week when he was talking about I make people use like if someone gets on the elevator,
No, it was such a lie.
I make them show me their room key.
Oh
We're like,
yeah,
Stugotz
there's
is-
no way.
No, you don't.
Stugotz is the king of the
The
unnecessary.
guy
lie.
goes, "Can you hit 11? Gotcha, bud." He just-
It's his move.
I think it's pathological though.
Oh no!
Like
yes.
I don't
It's a
think that
disease.
I don't think that that's done for
intentional.
the sake of like, oh, this is a character, this is a bit. I think he just
He can't control it.
Like,
I'm
yeah.
totally with you.
I'm
lie.
with you.
yeah,
He
the
just
words
is
just
like-
flow out.
He's just
Yeah.
like, I can say something now that people will find interesting, whether it actually happened or not. Like,
I think like when we're doing the show, a lot of times you'll realize someone needs to have a contrarian opinion
Oh,
or
yeah.
else the
That's
segment
like-
doesn't work.
we'll
And
do
I think
that.
Stugotz will do that, but with just facts
Yes.
about himself.
Yes, with just normal life.
And it's amazing because I worked with this man for over 2 years and I know nothing about him.
so
I
like
have no idea what he actually does and things.
So to get back to me doing stand up, I have done nothing. I've
no,
been very
no.
bad about it.
I was gonna ask you like when Brad is
I'm
in
compiling
town,
bits.
Do
Brad's
you-
texting me every other day
do you
about.
bother people?
No,
Not bother,
Brad.
like, you
Brad's
ask him
bothering
a bunch of
me to
things?
come open for. Like he wants me to do a set,
Oh, don't do
Okay,
that.
so
and I'm not ready for
Don't
it. So I
do
tell
that.
I
him
went-
no every time.
I went to this comedy show. My friend is now organizing these
Yeah.
like comedy nights in
Oh,
like
God.
but it's like a theater.
Of course.
And it's only 40 people. And I had never gone to one until this past Saturday. And when I was
Is it the
sitting there,
pop up things? I've heard about these pop up comedy shows.
yeah, it's at a place in Miami Lakes, like a theater there. But there's only 35, 40 people. And I was thinking, man, this is great for Chris because it doesn't have like that club setting.
No, that
You
is
can't even see the crowd, basically.
that would be a good setting for a first time.
Yeah,
I couldn't go on Saturday. I'm down to go. I definitely want to
I
go.
know, offer on the table.
Yeah.
He says whenever you're ready.
Wow.
I'm ready.
You're not
I'm not
ready. You
ready.
just said, yeah.
I'm not ready. But I need to just do it.
Yeah,
I got to
think
get over
you
the
gotta
hump
get
of
over
that
the
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll
What
be
do you
fine.
want to get out of it?
I just
Are you
know.
gonna be Dane Cook?
No, I just think
How
that
dare you.
I think I have good comedic timing.
I'm
so
just saying, like, you want, like, what do you want to
I-
parlay it into something, or you just want to do it like one and
it's
done?
just something that I think I could be all right at. So it's just kind of something I want to try and see. Maybe I'll get on stage and I'll be like, oh, I love this feeling, and then I just want to. I don't know. It's just as I sit with this create, we're trying to all think like, what are we going to be doing in 10 years,
Yeah.
and how can we parlay this rocket ship into something?
What would
I'm
you
hoping-
open with?
What, like a joke?
Yeah,
I'm
like-
not ready. I'm not doing my set right now for
I
you.
know. I put you in a bad spot there.
but you need to. I feel like
It wasn't me, it was Danny.
You can't just have a set, right?
Oh no, well,
no, you can.
But
At the
like
start-
every time you're gonna go and just do the same jokes
Yeah.
over
no,
and
the way
over?
the way it
Well-
works is the way it works for real. You come up with like however long, 20 minutes, half hour, hour,
That's
and
long.
then
no, you probably
It's
get like
like
5
five.
No,
minutes.
I know at the
10.
start. I know you build up, but I'm saying you do material. This is not me. I'm saying regular comedians.
No, I'm talking about
they
your
go
level.
around, they tour material, and then they.
No, I
record the
understand how
special.
comedians work. I'm saying
Oh.
like you, Like if you're starting out, you're just gonna have 5 minutes of jokes, and every time you go, because presumably you'd go to the same spot every time. Like if it's an open
They were
mic.
doing 15-minute blocks.
A lot of times,
But you can't do the same ones the
it's not
week
gonna be
after you just did it.
It's not going to be the same audience every time. I
Yeah,
get what you're saying.
it's a once a month thing.
A lot of comedians do repeat the same bits, or they'll like
For
add
at least a good
something
chunk
or
of
things.
tweak
At least a good
something
chunk of time
at
you
a few
repeat.
different places, and then if you go back to the same place, maybe
You're
it just
refining
depends.
Who would you steal from?
I'll tell you after the break. During the break, I spilled a bunch of shit on my clothes, so I had to change completely.
Oh.
And we're here now, and we have some updates. In the previous segments, we talked about the Attenzione Italian lady, and apparently she's got some controversy. So we as a show, we do not stand in support of the Attenzione. We like what she was doing with the Attenzione and calling, shining a light on these pickpocketers, but we do not.
We just keep it
Pickpocketing,
moving,
bad. Her, also bad.
Okay.
But we'll keep it rolling.
That's our stance.
There you go.
We're anti-pickpocketing, though.
And anti.
Other stuff.
Keep going. Yeah. We're good.
Roy's here.
We're
I
rolling.
don't know what's going on.
How's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Lucy, Brad Williams in the building.
Yeah, they won't let me leave. I tried. They told me not to.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
they said get back in there. Those are the exact
Not
words.
even like a request. Just
no,
like
just get back in there.
Kugler just
Pulled you by the
creepily
collar.
stuck his head in the window there and looked in here, and then he looked away.
enough of him.
I can't decide whether he really wants airtime or doesn't want it. Like, he says he doesn't, but he always pokes his head around.
Yeah.
We got to do a Cougs, deep dive on Cougs.
He's not going to do it.
Need a
No.
Coug South Beach sessions.
He's not that deep.
You do one before me.
We could also do mystery crate sessions. That was a
Oh,
fun.
that's
Who'd we
right.
do that with?
With Lucy.
Me.
Oh, yeah, with
Trying
Lucy,
to learn
me,
how
and
to say
Tony.
Hi, nice to meet you, by the way.
Hi,
I'm
Billy.
Billy.
Nice
How's
to
it
meet
going?
you. It's going.
It's
okay.
crazy that I actually met Lucy before Billy did.
Well, Billy's been on paternity.
Yeah, I was away.
yeah, that was his
Barely met
excuse.
anybody,
Yeah.
though. I didn't meet Stugotz till like 2 weeks into working here.
Yeah.
I feel like you've yet to really meet Dan either.
No, I barely. Me and Dan have talked like maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
I've been here for a year and a half. I think I've talked to Dan 3 times too.
Yeah, so
we're
you're all caught
we're
up.
right there.
Yep.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
overrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you like Miami so far?
She doesn't like it. She doesn't like
Oh,
it.
she hates it.
to love
saw-
it.
Where are you from?
Somebody with a dog like pooped in a, what was it?
A Marshall's.
A
Right
Marshalls.
in
She
front
saw
of me.
in
The
my-
person pooped or the
No,
dog
no,
pooped?
no.
That would have been something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, even worse. Yeah.
Would have been even better if the dog cleaned it up. That would have
That
been
would-
impressive.
oh, yeah.
That's
She's
pretty
from
good.
North Carolina, went to school in Iowa. We've covered this before. That's
Yeah,
one
no,
reason.
I know.
Oh,
just-
North
yeah.
Carolina. You've seen people poop in department stores before.
Oh,
Yeah, those are my
absolutely.
neighbors.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's
Anyway.
a whole new world.
So we were talking before about like a softball game that's getting played sometime this week, but I will not specify because Theater of the Mind, show, TV, etc.
Right.
And Billy was saying how when he first played in that game like 7 or 8 years ago, he belted a home run.
When
We did.
we played like 7 or 8 years ago. It was the first annual, and then it ceased to exist until this year, like 8 years later. And I hit a home run to like center field. It was like halfway into the outfield, but it was over like the stupid wall that they put in the way.
They probably had a fence that was like 200 yards, but in Billy's defense,
200 yards would be 600 feet. If I was
Well,
hitting
no, my
600
bad.
feet,
200 feet. But he
Yeah,
did
that
clear
was
that.
not here.
It was a
right now.
shot to center field. I remember Charlie, Old Money Charlie, had a home run also. His didn't clear the wall as much as yours.
Well, so after the game, I don't remember who it was I was talking to, and I was like, man, I'm gonna like work out, and next year I'm gonna come back and like I'm gonna try to like pull one down the line and pull one over the actual wall because I feel like I can.
Yeah.
It's a metal bat, whatever. And then it hasn't happened in 8 years, and tomorrow it's happening again, and I just don't want to get hurt.
Right, the
Like that's my
mindset-
only goal.
You're
is
worried about
don't
pulling
get
something
hurt
else.
or having a heart attack from trying too hard because I'm at the age where I feel like I could have an early heart attack.
I went outside.
You have a child?
I went outside yesterday of my house and just did some like, what's that like pre-game, like butt kicks, some high knees.
Oh, like,
I was
high
just like, I
knees
wanted
and-
to get my
Calisthenics?
body
Cynics.
like pre-stretching.
Yeah.
Whatever it's
It's
called.
like the beginning of conditioning workouts,
and
basically.
I was just like, I need to get these legs. Like, I just
Get the
don't want
blood
them.
flowing,
I don't
you know?
want to be like in shock.
The thing is,
when I
like,
get out there.
We're too close to the game to even consider like steroids because it won't take effect, right?
Right.
Like if I wanted to juice for this game
You should still do them.
on one
Yeah.
day's
Yeah.
notice, I don't think it's going to do anything, right?
Maybe.
I just don't want to like. The injuries happen, man. We're at that age in the 30s. Like all of a sudden, we're just like, oh, let me go get this ball in the hole, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
my neck's broken.
I don't think I've played since then. I don't think I've played, and I've had like I've been invited. My cousin's in a like Thursday softball league and has asked me like,
You're like a fill-in guy. He always texts you when he needs someone.
Yeah, but
and you
I
always
always-
say no.
I always come up with some reason as to why I can't. And the real reason, sometimes there have been valid reasons, but the majority of the time is the reason is I just don't want to embarrass myself while playing in that game.
Yeah.
Because then it's like a lot goes into it, right? It's not just like, hey, come out and go play in this
Yeah.
game. It's like, well, what shoes do I wear?
Yeah.
Do I wear sneakers? Do I wear cleats?
They have a lot of rules. You're not allowed to like slide. They don't want us basically touching the field. That we're
Well,
playing
but
on.
do I wear metal cleats if I go to play in this Thursday game? Do I wear the
No,
plastic
you're
ones?
literally not allowed to wear any cleats.
No, I'm talking about the Thursday game that
Oh,
I
I'm
always
sorry.
make excuses
Oh,
to get
sorry.
out
I
of.
thought you were
What
talking about
shoes
mine.
do I wear? Then I don't have a bad. What glove do
Artificial
I
turf,
use? It's
though.
a whole thing.
It's artificial turf. You don't wear like spikes out there on artificial turf, right?
I don't know.
What's your dream celebrity game to play in? Because every sport during All-Star Week and all the major
the
sports.
baseball, the softball game.
Yeah?
In MLB.
Yeah.
That's me.
Have you been in, off air? I was
Yeah.
asking Brad earlier this week if he would ever do a celebrity version of reality shows. Like if he's been invited, if he's ever gone down the path to be like invited to do it, would he do it? Has he done any?
Yeah.
But I like
Have you been
I like
invited?
the All-Star game question.
Yeah,
too.
because I've played in one,
Which one?
the All-Star
Race.
Weekend for basketball,
Really?
which is funny considering my height. But it was some of the
Jump
most
shot.
it was some of the most fun ever.
What year?
This was when it was in Charlotte, so I'm not maybe like 2019, 2018.
Who'd you play with?
Yeah, who's on your team?
Who was on my team? Well, that's the story I told on I think Basketball Illuminati is that Hassan Minaj
Oh, yeah, I remember
blew the game for us
Oh,
because we needed a three and Ray Allen was on our team. Ray Allen was in the corner, wide open, and Hassan Minaj took the three.
Jeez.
Look at me, Louis.
How does that work? Do you get approached for that, or like does your agent reach out and say Brad would like to do that? Because like sometimes they try to find like a connection to the city. Do you have a connection to Charlotte?
I don't. So the only how I got booked on that, honest to God, was I went to Summer League in Vegas, and people don't realize when you go to Summer League, maybe it's a little more security now, but there's like no security in Summer League. You can just walk into everywhere and you can just be hanging out. I was standing having a conversation with a friend, and then I turned around and Steve Ballmer was talking to Jerry West, and I'm like, I shouldn't be here. That's
I mean,
way
you're Brad
beyond.
Williams. Does everyone get this access? I mean, come on.
No, not like. I mean, yes, everyone does get this access. So how it happened was I was talking with a guy who knows Adam Silver. Adam Silver came up to say hi to him. I ended up interjecting in the conversation. Based upon that, he's like, "You should play in the celebrity game." And I'm like, "Yes, I should."
Wait, what?
I did not have Adam Silver. Like,
Adam
being the
Silver's
person.
hand picking the
That's what I'm
participants.
saying. Adam Silver.
Yes.
You know what? This guy.
Like Adam
guy-
Silver's like, you know
This
what?
guy's
Jay
in.
Balvin would be great this year.
Donald Faison.
else
Yeah.
Brad
around
Williams.
here?
Yes. And then like an idiot when Adam Silver was like, "You should play in the celebrity game." I'm like, "Can you do that?" And he's like, "Yeah,
Oh.
It's
can."
a good question. I
It
mean,
Yeah.
is. Like, how
He
do you
probably
know?
has someone
like his
handling.
dude.
He like knights you. He's
Yeah.
like, he's allowed to play, and then
Yeah.
his assistant
It was-
jots that down. And
Yeah,
okay,
it was
Brad's
me
in.
and my buddy, who's also a comedian, Adam Ray. He played Vince McMahon on Young Rock, and yeah, we both got to play, and it was the swag. That's why you want to play in these games. We've got so many pairs of shoes,
Oh yeah.
some nice jerseys, got some VR headsets.
So did you
Crazy.
like the next year expect an invite again and then get like sad when you didn't get it?
Yes,
Well, you gotta,
There was-
you gotta expect that though, because like you don't ever see the same. Like you
No,
might
Yeah.
see.
there's always kind of
There's
like
like a
3 or
couple-
4 that are the same people over. And
Nelly
over
can
again.
play in the
Right.
NBA game as
Yeah.
much as he wants. He's got a forever invite.
But it's okay. We're not Nelly. That's fine. You
I was-
made it to the game, dude. That's,
I was happy to do it once. I took a charge from Steve Smith, and that guy is
How'd that go?
hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very large.
Seems awkward.
He's a large man not large in terms of football, but in terms of civilians.
So they were calling charges in this game.
No, they didn't call it.
Oh wow.
Oh,
For what it's
So
worth.
you were just run over.
Yeah, I was run over, and then I did a full back roll because I wanted to exaggerate
I need
it.
to find this. It has to be on the internet.
For what it's worth, you're way funnier than Nelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, way funnier.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to visualize the charge, and it doesn't look good.
Lucy, what All-Star game? did you wanna
Oh,
be in?
Bad Bunny played in that game, and
That's what I'm saying.
no one knew who Bad Bunny was at the time. I mean, by no one I mean, of course, white guys. But like now it's insane to see who Bad Bunny is now and be like, oh, I played basketball with that
You
guy.
could say that you had a part in it.
Do you think
I did.
that Bad Bunny would recognize you?
Ooh.
Like know you? Like say hi to you?
No.
You'd be like All-Star Game.
Normally people like people either remember meeting me from 8 years ago, or they remember meeting some other dwarf they met one time 8 years ago, and they just think that's me.
Do they ever hit you with? I met Peter Dinklage once.
Yep.
It's like that's an unnecessary fact. That has nothing to do with
Wow.
me.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
there.
fact, we're two different people.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
There's a lot of, oh, my cousin's a dwarf. My teacher in high school was a dwarf. The worst one I ever got was, oh, you're a dwarf. My brother has mental disabilities.
Oh God.
They
Damn.
they didn't use the word mental disabilities.
Right.
They used a hard ah, but yeah. But they said my brothers, and I'm like, it's like, oh, that's not the
Not
same.
similar. Actually,
Not
at
the
all.
same
Also not Peter Dinklage.
at all.
Yeah, no.
It's very awkward. But no, like, so what games would you guys want to play in?
Put me in one of those influencer league games because I think I could actually.
For what sport
compete in
though?
those.
For what sport?
I think they only do like
I've
I
seen
think
track and field.
Yeah, I think I
Okay.
would want to do like track and field. I think I'd want to do like softball or something.
Yeah.
Like not I weigh
Softball's
like
not a
100
lot of
pounds.
like pressure on the knees.
Yeah.
Like it's fine.
If I get hit by somebody,
Yeah.
I'm gonna break something. I'm a very small person.
Oh no, tell me how small you are.
Sorry, Brad.
No, tell me how.
Jeez.
No, tell me how
Man
small.
is right next to you.
Oh.
They had you do the jump ball.
Yeah,
No.
Fantastic.
No.
yeah, I did it and I stole it.
Oh, okay.
Cause no, so there was two WNBA players that were gonna do the jump ball, and then I tapped out ours and said, "No, I got this." and then when the ref brought the ball down, I just grabbed it and took off. And they're like, "All right, the game's starting." All right, and there's no real rules in this
You
celebrity
tossed
game.
it up, man. You went.
I
for
did,
it.
and I completely bricked it. Finished with no points, but I did have an assist to Ray Allen, and that's
You actually made
definitely-
the right pass.
Yeah. Yeah, Hassan.
Yeah.
Throwing it out there. But yeah, it was an amazing, fun experience. Billy, what sport would you want to play?
Softball seemed like flag football. I feel like I could. Well,
Okay.
actually, I'm
No.
now. I'm thinking like
You're a good
through
runner,
the
though.
prism.
I feel like you're sneaky
and
athletic,
I'm-
Billy.
well,
I mean, yeah, you were an athlete, but
Yeah.
like I feel like a lot of people don't think you're athletic, and then you would surprise a lot of
He
people.
is.
D1
Thank
athlete
you.
Billy Gill. Yeah.
because I also still think that I'm like in my 20s and that like I could still do the same things
Yeah.
that I could do then.
This goes back to the injury thing where you just don't want to get hurt.
Well, no, like I haven't played flag football probably in like years, right? Like maybe like 10 years or something, right? So the idea that I could just go out there and still perform how I did then is insane.
Yeah,
So
I used to do basketball twice a week, and then the pandemic killed that.
yeah.
Because like even though the guys I played with, they're typical Floridians, they didn't give a shit about COVID or nothing like that. But they were. It just wasn't the same, and you couldn't find a place to play, and it just was not. I cared about dying, so I was like, guys, I'll just
Makes
wait it
sense.
out. 8 months passed, and then we just didn't do it anymore.
Right.
Would you call the Tahoe golf tournament a celebrity event? Because if we are, I think that's my number one.
Yeah, that would be sick. That
Yeah.
would be amazing.
Yeah.
That's more something like you have to be good to get into. Like
Mhm.
that's not just like, hey, we're gonna take any big name. It doesn't matter how good you are at this at all.
Right.
Like that one, you actually have to be good.
Well, because also when I watch the tournament, I'm shocked to see like the patrons lining the side of the holes like
get
they're
hit.
professionals. Like, what are you doing?
I got hit by Ray Romano.
Yeah,
softball.
you got hit by your family member, which is great.
I mean,
Love
there
that.
are some bad golf. Like actually, what am I saying? There are a bunch of bad. Like I just said, you have to be good to play in that
Yeah.
thing. There are a bunch of bad. If you're a big enough celebrity, you can be bad at golf. But
Okay.
if you're gonna be
Ooh.
a crappy celebrity, you got to be good at golf.
Who's the worst golfer that you saw at the tournament?
I mean-
Not this year because you didn't go.
Yeah, I didn't
Not
go.
named
They-
Mike.
They sent Jeremy.
Well, like,
But,
we're not
like-
talking. We're talking about the actual tournament. Like Jeremy
Yeah.
and Mike
Yeah, two
embarrassed the
different
show
things.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did they
But,
play?
they played in like the pro-am the day before the tournament. That's like we don't get to play in the big tournament. It's the tournament before the tournament. But Charles Barkley's bad.
Are you better
Larry
than Golick?
Larry the Cable Guy was bad. Golick not great.
But are you better than Golick? What you
I
think?
think I am. I've
Senior?
only seen clips of him playing. It didn't look good.
Senior's good, right?
No,
No.
he's admittedly bad. He was like I heard him on
Okay.
the podcast. He's
I
not-
think he has injuries or something.
yeah. I mean, he's
Football guy.
golf's hard.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. I have a hot take. I've famously said that diarrhea is underrated.
Oh, okay.
Famously.
Just 'cause
Underrated?
Cool.
just because it flies out, it's just like it's never like some. foods
How
can
should it be
difficult.
properly rated?
No, I'm
Flies,
saying,
huh?
I'm saying that I think it gets a bad rap. Like I don't mind a little diarrhea.
But doesn't
once in a while.
it have like different levels? Like there's like regular diarrhea.
Let's not.
There's like
Let's-
explosive
where's this
diarrhea.
But
going?
where I was getting to
Okay.
the follow up, my next hot take, which is in the similar vein, throwing up,
Of
a
diarrhea.
little underrated.
Depends on the circumstance, but I can agree with you.
You always feel great after.
No.
Unless you have
Not
food
always.
poisoning or something. But if it's
But
just
it
like
feels horrible before and the worst during.
And during. And then if it
Does it
comes
feel
out of your
bad
nose,
during?
your whole like nasal cavity.
I'm with you.
fire.
That's obviously
Yeah.
like there's those. That's the one where it's just coming out of like every.
Yeah.
Have you
it's
ever
terrible.
popped blood vessels from throwing up so hard?
No, what I have had is like the next day I'll have really sore like abs because I'm retching so hard that I'll
then
have,
you're
a
like, I got my
sore
workout in.
core. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Can I ask you something before we continue
you
this?
can, Billy.
Just
Yeah,
real
sure.
quick question.
I mean, come on.
So we're doing like all the technical questions or whatever, and you're talking to like the camera people, making sure all the shots are set up, and like he's about to go and he's counting down, and then you just randomly go, "They're about to open a Target next to my house,"
Yeah.
which is like really weird.
Well, because
talking
so
about
if
it.
you look at Brad Williams' shot, Jason, if you hit Brad Williams' shot, there's a lovely like tiled looking cup right over his right shoulder. So I go, oh, Lucy's cup's in the shot, and she goes, I got it at Target. And then
did.
where I live in Miami, which is right across the street from Magic City Casino, more or less,
wow.
they're opening a Target there.
I'm glad we're here.
To be honest, that part of town doesn't deserve a Target. So
Wait,
I'm
hold
happy
on,
it's
What is that supposed to
Wait.
be?
Why?
Not-
it sucks.
But
How
not,
do you not deserve a target?
Whoa.
It's terrible. It's the worst.
but not across the street where the abandoned Kmart is.
It is the Kmart.
They turned the
They turned the
abandoned
Kmart into a Target. Gentrification.
Well,
bro.
that makes
it's
sense.
happening.
This is horrible.
Isn't that where we were gonna have Moss?
It's one of the possible
It's one of the-
locations
yeah.
for
It's
K-Moss
not possible
Miami,
anymore.
which
It's
now I
gone
can't
now.
do it anymore.
Yeah.
You can still
because
do it
it's
in
a
a
Target.
Target. There's plenty of space there.
Nah, Target's too expensive. for
Target
us.
doesn't roll off the tongue.
I wanted to rent out. Oh, you probably know this. Maybe
Yeah.
not. I wanted to rent out a Kmart and host an event in an abandoned Kmart.
I think it'd be great.
No one has this vision the way I do. Though.
I think it'd be fantastic. I think you should do a roller rink night at an abandoned Kmart. It'd be awesome.
But the abandoned Kmarts are becoming an endangered species now because they're getting turned into targets. That's what
Yeah.
we're saying.
Got to go to Blockbuster.
Anyway,
Ooh.
vomiting.
I just
Yeah,
think
back to vomiting.
I think that both of those.
There's a Blockbuster by my house that got
So
turned
much for
into
vomiting.
a medical center for old people.
Does it still
It
have
was
the
like
ticket?
really
What,
weird.
Leon?
the ticket logo on the
They
front.
still have the cardboard cutouts. Like maybe they have a Patch Adams in there.
Yeah.
A bunch
think-
of DVDs in the back for $9.99.
I think throwing up is more underrated than diarrhea. I feel bad leading with diarrhea there. Like diarrhea it's just an easy poop. Like there's no struggle. It just flows like wine.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Oh,
that.
That's
okay.
wine made of
No.
fire.
Say that.
Come on.
But also like
What kind of
the cleanup
diarrhea?
is.
I mean, maybe I'm
that's what I'm
thinking.
saying.
Have you
It's
had diarrhea?
There's levels.
I'm thinking, isn't there's like a middle ground of diarrhea that's just liquid poop. Like you guys just have it like after a beer night, like the beer. No, everyone's.
All right.
No.
So how do you all how are you with witnessing public vomiting? Funny or sad?
good with it.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
I saw one this weekend. I was in Raleigh for a wedding and I didn't pack shoes. My bad. So
Like
I
at
had to-
all?
North
I
Carolina.
packed a
you're
pair of
fine.
sneakers and then was like, I don't think that's gonna work. So I had to go get shoes. I was sitting there and I was like, I'm hungry. Got a little Chick-fil-A and I saw this kid and he spilled his drink and he was crying so hard at the spilled
You were
drink.
laughing.
He was, yeah, of course. He was like 7 or 8. He was a little too old to be crying about a spilled drink. So then he stands up. He's crying so hard. He does the like toddler stance sort of where his
yeah.
like legs and arms get wide and just bends over and just pukes the rest of the
Oh.
drink up because he was so upset.
I bet he felt
by
better after.
spilling his drink. He cried even harder after that, and I was like, "There's nothing left." And it was one of the funnier things I'd seen in a long time.
Soda vomit
I
has
was
to be one of the
laughing
worst of the
so
vomits.
So
hard.
vomit, you're cool with. I saw you like
'Cause the bubbles.
Who was it?
Yeah.
My dad had like a little tiny cut earlier this week with like wasn't bleeding. It just had a little red, and
Nope.
she was like, "I can't look.
I do not do blood.
That's wild."
What?
But,
If I like
Really?
see
but
blood,
vomiting, you're totally cool
yeah,
with.
that.
So, like, if
because
I,
it was
like-
funny,
So if I like cut myself right now
I
in
would
front
not
of
be able to
you,
look at you.
Did he cut himself in the studio?
someone give me a
My
razor.
dad has
No.
like those like old man arms where every
Do
time
like
he
the
grazes up
wrestling
against
thing.
anything, it
The
cuts
skin
his
is
arm.
getting a little.
I get mystery bruises. Do you guys
Yeah.
get mystery
Oh, I
bruises?
get
You should check that
Yeah.
out. my
Change the name of the
friend, 'cause
show.
Really?
That could be like blood clots or something.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad.
You should check that out.
I just-
if they are
I-
really random.
Start wearing compression socks.
Well, I mean, I don't keep track of every time I bump into something. I will bump into things. I'm like, yeah, that's gonna suck in 2 days, and I know that's gonna
Oh,
be like a bruise. But like sometimes I look around, I'm like, I have a bruise. I also have this weird lump inside my leg that I've told.
Should also get that
Dude,
checked
no,
out.
my
Yeah.
no, like my pediatrician like looked at this years
Your
and
daughter's-
years ago.
your pediatrician?
Yeah.
No,
daughter's-
that's what I'm. No,
You still go to your
No,
pediatrician?
that's why I'm saying how long it's been. Is that I
do you
had
sit?
them
Do you
look
still
at that,
sit in the rocket ship?
and I wish.
I like the
and
idea
I said
of your daughter being done, and it's like, all right, my turn. And you hop
well, if
up,
I'm at the
you, like, hop up,
why am I going to make another appointment?
and you like
know
hop
what I
up
mean?
onto
I'm already
that-
here.
Exactly.
Traffic, I gotta
Two
get
birds,
in.
one stone.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
What do they do this flimsy little paper for? Just
I
like
don't know.
like
Well,
let me.
speaking of flimsy flavor and lumps, I had a lump removed from the side of my head. I don't know if like Jason
Of
can
course.
zoom in on it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Did I
Yeah,
tell you about
transition.
It's like it was so what it was is I thought it was like a cyst, but it was a calcified hair follicle. And it's like right here. Lucy could probably see it.
No one
See,
wants
like, little
to
bald
see
spot?
this. Why are we?
And it has like
here.
This is really
and it
gross.
allows it to
It's
be
like
like
a-
this
Oh,
massive
wait, we do
like
kind of see it.
scar.
Stay right
From
there.
like an ingrown
And
hair
it's
or
not.
something.
Ugh.
And I thought it was a cyst, and it's like
Gross.
It was a calcified hair follicle.
Mike has
Oh,
a
that's
story
bad.
for everything, just so you know.
I have a
Right.
bump. I have a bump in the back of my head that I've had my entire life, and anytime I get a haircut, they
Put your
always
hat
hit
back
it.
on.
Well,
Put your hat
They
back
hit it
on.
like a speed bump every time I get a haircut.
That's why I got rid of this because
Come
it
here
wa-
and in here and touch it. And see
Okay,
what
I'll-
it
Show
feels
the camera the bump on the back of your head.
There you go.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is.
You guys should really just have a doctor on the podcast to check out all your
Really
ailments.
do.
This is
I mean,
really-
just give him some
WebMD.
free publicity, and
Right here.
he or she will probably do it.
Give me your finger.
What are you doing right
Give
now?
me your finger.
And he's filling
he's
up the
filling
bump.
the bump.
I feel like this is an HR
Can you
violation.
do this? Like,
You think we have HR?
We
when
need
we're
HR.
You need
not
HR.
doing the show? You're guys are still recording.
checked
You're just
out.
having
Yeah.
a conversation with each other.
This is very
This
strange.
is nice.
This is
They're comparing bumps.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Anyone else
good,
got any
thank
bumps?
you.
You're
I don't
bumping
have bumps, but I have a deformed ear.
Oh, let's see.
Okay,
What?
so
to go along with the tooth.
Yeah, I have I also have an extra
You
piece
kept
of
this-
skin under my tongue too, but we can get that
Wow.
next.
One at a time.
Wow.
I'm a really
Hubba.
special.
So
Hubba?
you decided to go with extra tooth when we asked you. You didn't go with the facts about your ear.
Yeah,
Like that.
no, because I can't give you everything at once.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
Slow burn.
So we'll take a look at this ear. Does everyone see it?
Normal ear.
Yeah.
Normal
Looks pretty
ear?
standard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
standard ear.
This ear never
Just
fully formed.
react appropriately.
Oh, so do you see how
Oh,
Now go back to your
like
other ear.
this?
you don't have the thing.
It never fully formed on this
Oh.
side.
That's not that
Do you have
big.
any other
Big Foley over here.
besides
Look
your
at
tooth?
And then I have an extra. I didn't know this.
Do you
so
do MMA?
I should. I probably should.
Yeah.
I would like the wrestler, like corn,
Yeah.
corn
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower
ear.
ear.
Corn ear.
It's
Rubber ear.
Iowa.
You're from Iowa. You're just like corn everything.
Corn
And then
ear.
I have an extra piece of skin under my tongue that like connects. I don't know what it
You
is.
sure you just didn't burn your tongue?
No, because I didn't know it. And then one day I went to a different dentist and he was like, you know about this? And I was no.
Wow.
And he said, you can cut it off if you want. But I was like 17. So I was like,
Ooh.
I don't really think I need to. So sometimes I like trip over my
Probably
words
hurt.
and I blame it on that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I had the bump on the top of my head
Let
when
me
I was
see. Come in here.
17.
Let me
Back
go
to
there.
bumps.
No, and
What did
and
he
I
have
was
in
like,
his
I
tongue?
want to take care of it.
Here
And
we
then I
go.
think it migrated, and that's how I got this one on the
It
side.
migrated.
What's your
Like
assess-
it's a bird.
That's
your-
not science.
Are our bumps
What?
the same?
What do you think?
It feels
happened?
similar. It's like yours is like the early version of mine. Mine was
Early.
big.
I've
was
had
like,
it my entire life.
Oh, then it's probably just like a small.
ask your
It could be the same
pediatrician.
thing.
I'm gonna go next
the
time my
one-
daughter
The one
goes
I
to the
took out
doctor.
was like the size of my nail. It was pretty big
Whoa.
and fat. Yeah, I
Oh,
was
no,
like
that's
that's
not
why
good.
I had grown my hair long because it was like a noticeable bump on the side of my head.
Brad?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Nah.
fucked up stuff.
Just the dwarfism.
Oh, okay.
Just that.
Let me touch it.
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah. Okay.
Saw a doctor for that, huh?
Yeah. Saw a doctor. Diagnosed right away.
Your pediatrician.
Popped right out, and they're like, "That's different."
Can I ask you guys a question?
You have a great ass though.
Thank you.
What?
He does.
I do. Spectacular. I mean, it's due to a crooked spine, but yeah, it's pretty good.
That seems like a strange thing.
I was
to
just giving him a
throw out there.
I look good in booty shorts.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
If you ask me that one more time,
You're trucking.
So this is a dad joke question, and I asked this of the dads
Okay.
in the room.
Sorry,
So,
Lucy.
good setup.
Obviously, early in like a child's life, you go to the doctor a lot, right? Because
Yep.
there's like all the shots and the checkups and all that stuff, right? But then we're also like in the like nursery rhyme, sing along, Coco Melon, all of those of the world, right? So like my 2-year-old has now been singing songs, and one of the songs she sings is "No More Monkeys Jumping on the Bed,"
Oh, I love that song.
right? Classic song,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Banger.
first it's like 5 monkeys.
Yeah,
one
you count
fell
down. It's
off
like a
and
counting
bumped
song.
his
Yeah.
head.
So now, almost every time that I go to the doctor, if like my parents or my wife, if I go by myself or whatever, like ask me like, "Oh, what did the doctor say?" And I very seriously go, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed." Every single time. Every single time. They've gotten so sick of that joke.
Good dad joke.
Yeah.
It's a great dad joke.
Solid
Yeah,
dad
that's
joke.
good. That's good, man.
No
That's good.
more monkeys jumping on the bed.
Every single time.
Yeah.
This is a good song.
All right. So do you have shows now that you're like you don't want like if you went the rest of your life and you never heard a theme song or saw the show again? Like what shows are you tired of that your kids are watching?
We've been
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
we
the
haven't
worst.
done that many shows. Like you guys would have a better answer. for
Bluey.
this.
I love Bluey. Give me
Oh,
Bluey
yeah,
all
Bluey.
day.
Bluey all day, yeah.
Delightful.
Yeah, Paw Patrol's the worst. Coco Melon can just not exist.
Yeah, we
forever.
stopped showing.
Yeah.
it.
God, do I
What
hate
Disney
Cocomelon.
movie is like?
Right now, my daughter is big into.
I have a friend who he knows
Where is she?
every song
I saw
from
Tangled.
Frozen, English and Spanish. He knows both.
I saw Tangled recently.
It's good.
You like
It was a good. I like
good
the
one.
song about dreams. I was like, this is a nice little song here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the one from a couple years ago that's like where every emotion there's like anger? You guys seen this one? That one's
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
That's such
I
a
just
good
saw
one.
that one.
Good
That
movie,
one's
though.
good.
Good movie.
That's the new one that I've seen. Promotions. Roy, what do you got coming up?
We got Montgomery and Company, and we have Because Miami. Don't know what's going on.
The Hangover on Cinephile. Brad Williams.
How did
Yeah.
that go?
It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that the movie that you've been like most qualified to
Because
discuss?
I've actually
Yeah.
seen it.
No, I'm saying
'Cause you've
just
lived
like
it?
it's
My
something
wheelhouse.
you enjoy.
No, the
Yeah,
old
yeah.
movies. That's why we do it. We do like a new one, and then we try to get something that like is in my wheelhouse or just more commonly seen. Because Adnan's getting in there in the nuts and bolts with these new
Brad,
movies.
you got
Not
5
everyone's
seconds.
seen them.
5 seconds to promote your stuff.
BradWilliamsComedy.com, tour 24, over 60 dates.
Okay, goodbye.